The greatest male saint in the history of the church was not a pope, not a bishop, not a priest, not a deacon, not a hermit, not a monk. The greatest male saint in the church, in the history of the church, was a husband, a layman, a simple worker, San Jose. Yan nun ay galing sa isa sa mga writings or teachings ni Saint Jose Maria Escriva, the founder of Opus Dei, as cited by Bishop Robert Barron. On this very important day in the history of the church, and in the life of the church rather, today is March 19. We celebrate today Saint Joseph, the husband of the Blessed Mother. So imagine, sabi nga ni Robert Barron, when Jesus said or mentioned or uttered the word Abba or Tatay, no? Or Papa, he was referring to Joseph, that young Jesus living in that domicile in Nazareth. And he mentioned that, no, tayo, no, Papa or Abba. He's referring to Joseph. So today, usapang lalaki tayo with one of the greatest male models of all time. And how this person, this man, being foster father to God's son and spouse to the God bearer, di ba? Theotokos. And what can we learn from his life? Actually, his life, kasi we cannot really learn from any of his words. Yeah, it's a fun fact. Throughout the scripture, wala kayong mababasa na kahit himutok o kahit bahin or kahit utot, wala kayong mababasang lumabas na pananalita mula sa pagkatao ni Jose. Yun yung ating haba ng intro. So, well, and it's also within the period of Lent, and it's quite a celebration actually. And without further ado, welcome sa ating episode for today and happy fiesta sa ating lahat. Ako po si Russell.
Ako naman po si Lennon.
At ito ang Tamang Usapan.
Usapang may tama.
Yan.
Happy Fiesta ni Saint Joseph. Fiesta ng buong simbahan kasi Saint Joseph is the patron saint, no, of the Universal Church.
Kumusta naman ang celebration dyan nun? Meron bang dyan? Meron bang specific or meron bang cultural na special na regard kay Jose sa Spanya?
In a national level, I don't think so. Mayroong mga syempre mga personal or mga regional siguro na mga na mga devotions, no? And of course, we have the traditional devotions. Pero in a national level, and like for the Virgin, for example, I don't think so. In fact, sa tingin ko, although Saint Joseph ay ang universal, no, ang patron saint ng Universal Church, he is also one of the least known, I mean, well known, but at the same time, least known saints, no, ng simbahang Katolika. Kaya rin sakto na pag-uusapan natin yung si San Jose, and he's very special para sa atin kasi we were once, nung panahon na tayo ay nag-self-exile, we were once faithful, no? Part of the faithful and altar servers din. Hindi lang actually kasi marami rin tayong sinalihang ministries. sa St. Joseph Parish sa Upper Bicutan sa Taguig City. So, of course, para may context po kayo, kami pong mga magkakaibigan ay hindi po kami dumaan sa phase ng rebelliousness sa bahay. So, ang rebelliousness namin ay sa parokya. So, there was a time na we had tensions no sa ating sa home parish natin sa Our Lady of the Holy Rosary sa Lower Bicutan. So, we searched for another home, 'di ba? Kami, self-exile kami. And we were received with open arms by the community of St. Joseph Parish sa Upper Bicutan, Taguig City, na by that time was under the pastoral care of the then newly ordained Father Daniel Estacio, no? Na ngayon ay, I think, director siya ng PADS ngayon, di ba? Ng Pasig Diocesan School System.
Siya ang superintendent, yeah. And president ng Pasig Catholic College. Sayang, hindi natin kasama ngayon si Doc Luke.
Oo. He's a very, isa sa mga idol niya. Yeah.
Yeah. Ngayon ko lang, ngayon ko lang na-reflect. Kasi nasabi mo na hindi tayo nagkaroon ng rebellious phase sa family. Like sa bahay. But try to look at it in a way na yung simbahan kasi yung naging bahay natin na.
True.
And we had trouble with the mother. So to whom shall we go? We go to the dad.
Mm-hmm.
And in the ancient history of the church, there used to be an old adage which always say, "Ite ad Joseph." Go to Joseph. Ngayon wala siya, perhaps, siguro I'm just trying to rationalize or spiritualize it. Pero when things were not going so well sa home parish nga namin with the mother, with Mama Mary. Wala kami issue kay Mama Mary. Issue kami dun sa isang mama namin dun. Ayun, no? So we had to go to Upper Bicutan, no? Nasa Lower Bicutan kami. Kami sa Upper Bicutan. Naalala ko na. It's one good trip down memory lane. And totoo, no? I can agree dun sa sinabi ni Leno na siya yung patron ng Universal Church, pero alam mo yun, yung hindi siya yung typical mong saint na naghahanap ng impact o hahanapan mo ng impact na hindi, yan, si San Jose yan, ganito yan siya. No, like, he just has that title, pero regardless kung alam natin o hindi, siya yun eh. Alam nyo, yung parang yun ang gusto kong ipunto na regardless kung alam natin, ramdam natin, o we have devotion, he is, and he will always be the patron of the Universal Church. That's why he is usually depicted as someone who holds the child Jesus or accompanies, kasi may mga depiction naman na medyo grown child na si Jesus. And to some iconographies, tawag natin doon iconography, he's holding a staff with lily, symbolizing chastity, and sa other hand niya, he's holding the church or a structure of a church. That's Joseph for you. And sa panahon natin, if you remember a few episodes ago, we have Luke with us discussing about toxic masculinity. Meron tayong prelude nun with Doc Joyce, if you remember last year, how women are, in a way, have been subdued by a patriarchal society. And here we have a man named Joseph of Nazareth who has something to offer to us kahit wala siyang sinabi na record sa scriptures. No? Curious ako though, before we proceed, if you're already familiar, Lennon has always been sharing his experiences of Spain for quite some time already. May isang province ba tawag yan sa mga ano? May isang district diyan or lugar, yung Salamanca ba yun? I forgot already na ang perpetual mayor nila doon ay si Mama Mary. No? Like parang mayora nila si Maria doon. So meron bang isang
Sa
area diyan?
Valencia ata.
Valencia, sorry.
Yung Our
Meron
Lady of the
bang
Abandoned ang mayor.
okay. Valencia pala. Meron ba lugar diyan na din sila? Kay San Jose naman, parang gano'n.
Hindi ko masyadong sure actually. Let me search ngayon.
If I'm not mistaken, yung si Santa Teresa de Jesus, meron siyang deep devotion kay San Jose.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Si
Very
Teresa
siya.
Favila. Kasi meron something nga doon sa silence ni Jose. No, which makes him whole. And I think to kick off our discussion, Pads, yung I think it's the very first value. It's the very first value for us men that can emulate from Joseph is that value or virtue of silence. Take note, it's virtue of silence. Hindi siya culture of silence. Contrary to what has been going on for quite some time. To contextualize, sa Philippine setting, for example, we have this culture of silence. Kaya anong nangyayari sa culture of silence? I can name a few examples if you can resonate. Sabihin natin sa workplace. Sa workplace, we are not that open to giving and receiving criticisms. No, unlike in the US na parang pagsabihan ka talaga na tsaka dito kasi grabe yung honorifics natin eh. Kailangan sir, ma'am, sir, ma'am, sir, ma'am. Kapag ka mataas sa'yo, automatic sir and ma'am yun. Pero kapag hindi mo kilala, di ba, for fear na ma-assume mo, kasi baka mamaya tinuring mo siya subordinate, boss din pala siya. No? Yung very hierarchical ugali natin. So lahat sir and ma'am. May isang episode na sinabi ko na in a way, this is good in a way kasi we are trying to uplift each and everyone's dignity. Kasi yung jeepney driver, pag nagbayad ka, boss, bayad, boss para. Di ba? O madam, magkano sa ganito? Di ba? Or ate o kuya. We are always assuming that the other person is one step higher than us, which is a good trait. Pero when it comes to this culture of silence, ang ibig ko lang sabihin, we're just so afraid to express ourselves as what we think, you know, for fear that we will be misunderstood, for fear that we will create conflict, whether it's necessary or unnecessary. Kung unnecessary, okay, kasi it's for our peace, no? It's for our mental health, no? Yung sinasabi natin. Pero what if there is a conflict necessary for us to grow? No? To call out somebody else's bullshit or to call out somebody else's corruption, mistake, or rampant na pagkakamali, no? We tend to be silent about it. And this is not silence that Joseph has, actually. Or maybe I'm wrong. Let's consult Lennon later with scriptures. Pero yun nga, isang context yun sa culture of silence. Meron pang isa sa workplace. We tend to be silent kapag may mga discussions, no? Kasi kung sino nakaisip siya ang gagawa. Merong mga meetings, representative ka or regular member ka. For some, kapag medyo bata-bata, this is my observation for many organizations ha. Pag medyo bago-bago, maririnig mo 'yan. Ang daming suggestions. They really interact, they are really active in the participation dun sa discussions. They engage, kumbaga. Then you will observe the older ones, the senior employees, and they have their own their own world, their own community. And during the meetings, they barely engage na rin. For some, parang mapapansin mo, siguro pagod na kasi marami na silang matagal na sila sa work. Pero the point is, hindi na sila nagsasuggest, hindi na sila nag-engage. And sadly, for some, hindi na sila nagme-mentor. Bakit? Kasi, sino kaisip, siya ang gumawa. Kaya, pag sinabi ng isang department, for example, we are doing everything we could, no? To make sure that our department is relevant, to make sure that our educational standards is up to par with the global standards. No. Kasi, nakaisip siya gawa. And we don't want additional work, no? Hindi tawag natin over and above our usual tasks, no? Yeah. Hindi lang yung organizational structure yung hierarchical, even the work, no? It's very hierarchical and very bureaucratic. Ang daming dinadaanan, ang dami requirements, ang dami red tape, kahit may anti-red tape authority na. So something like that. But here, we encounter a man na, well, I cannot overemphasize it, na talagang throughout the scriptures, at least for the two gospels na may infancy narratives, walang sinabi masyado tungkol kay Jose. Pero yung mga sinabi tungkol sa kanya are sufficient enough for us to learn so much from him. According to Matthew, sinabi doon, Joseph was a righteous man. No? He's righteous. Ano pa? Joseph comes from a royal lineage. No? Supposedly, kung yung greatest what if o sana all ng bayan ng Israel was actually Joseph is the rightful king ng Israel kasi diretso talaga yung linya niya. Diretso talaga. Yung pagkaka-depict ni San Mateo dun sa Matthew chapter 1, yung genealogy ni Jesus. Yung mismong generation, tsaka yung mismong tatay at lolo at ang tumbok nun papunta kay Jose. Huwag nyo lang tanongin kung bakit Herodes yung nakaupo doon. Pero for quite some time, mga usurpers kasi sila ni-usurp nila yung trono ng kingdom ng Israel. And hindi sila mga Hudyo. Mga Idumean sila. And Edom is mortal na kalaban ng Israel. Kaya dati pa, nagluluklok na talaga tayo ng mga hindi pro sa bayan, no? Mga traidor at mga other entities. No? Yung matatawag natin Manchurian candidate. So, hindi na bago. Nalalapit pa ang eleksyon. Anyway, ayokong kainin masyado itong part na to. Pero yun, yung silence na yun, again, just to reiterate, wala siyang sinabi, kahit isang sentence, but much or enough has been said about him, which we can emulate. Pero we start with silence. Ikaw, Non, ano bang kwan mo dyan sa silence? Why is it important? No? And yung silence as a virtue, why is it different from passive aggression o silent treatment o silent mode or ano pa yan? Silent quitting, ano pa yung mga silent natin? Yun, mga ganon. As an attitude, since as men, we can see this with our fathers. Diba? Si Tito Poli or yung tatay ni Lennon, ilang beses lang kami nagkita and alam ko hindi talaga kami nagkausap. It's some beses. Tatay ko, hindi siya ganun ka-expressive. Tito Tamsi, tatay ni Francis, hindi rin. Yung tatay ni Luxie, Tito Felix yan. Medyo ano yun. Makwento. Yung tatay ni Father Michael, hindi rin. So, there's something here that silence is, in a way, it's a human trait, but it's also something a very masculine attribute. Pads, ikaw.
One of our goals dito sa ating episode today is to present Saint Joseph as the model for masculinity, vis-a-vis yung ilang beses natin napag-usapan yung toxic masculinity, yung ini-impose ng society na nakapalit ng toxic masculinity na effeminized masculinity naman. So, vis-a-vis dun sa dalawang models na yon, we are offering in this episode Saint Joseph as a model of a man, of what man as a male can become, what he is really called to be, kumbaga. And we are now talking about his one of his defining characteristics sa Biblia, his silence. Kasi yun nga, sabi ni Russell kanina, kahit pa ilang beses ninyong basahin pabalik-balik yung Biblia, walang sinabi si Joseph, Just imagine, just put yourself in the shoes of Joseph. Na tuklasan mo na yung fiancé mo ay nagdadalang tao at wala pang nangyayari sa inyo. Sa batas ng Israel, karapatan mo yun na na ibunyag yun. At pag binunyag mo yun, mamamatay yung babae by stoning. Kasi krimen yun eh. But what he did, sabi sa Gospels, is that silently, he decided to silently break off with Mary, no? So, na hindi na niya pinalaki pa yung issue. Silently. And then came the angel, in his dream, saying to him, Joseph, the child that Mary is having is of the Holy Spirit, no? So, sabi na, ang ganda nang sinabi dito ni Russell sa chat namin. Di siya nag-post ng cheating allegation sa social media. O so panahon na yun siguro sa plaza, sa Agora. Hindi siya doon. Hindi siya nagsabi na, malandi itong hinayupak na ito, ng lalaki. Hindi siya nagpa-victim. Yeah, exactly. But rather, inisip niya pa muna yung kabutihan ng tao kahit na supposedly, without knowing yung context talaga nung pagdadalang tao ni Mary, may karapatan siyang magalit. And talagang kahit naman siguro sino, talagang masasaktan. Dahil niloko ako eh. So may karapatan kang magalit, no? But imbes na isipin niya yung sarili niya, inisip niya muna yung kalagayan ni Mary, buntis siya, at pwede siyang mamatay. So I will break off with her silently. And then came the angel saying nga yun, okay, Joseph, take Mary as your wife because the child in her womb is a child of God. It's of the Holy Spirit. Wala tayong narinig na, bakit ako? Bakit mo ihingin sa akin yan? Bakit ako mananagot sa hindi naman ako ang ama? Di ba? We have that mentality nowadays. No? Bakit ako yung mananagot sa hindi ko naman ginawa? Meron nga yung iba, ikaw mismo yung gumawa eh. Kaya ang daming yung phenomenon ng mga single mothers today. Ikaw mismo yung gumawa.
Sa'yo.
Kaya tatakbuhan mo.
Sa'yo, tas
diba?
Hindi pinanindigan, no?
Hindi mo paninindigan. Di tawag sa'yo gago. Pero,
May mas malala pa doon, pre.
Ano, pre?
Sa'yo, yung bata. Hindi mo pinanindigan. Tapos sumanap ka ng iba, tapos pinanindigan mo yung hindi sa'yo doon.
Oo, talagang grabe na
'Di ba?
Ibang level na lang ano
Eh,
'yon.
pero it's a phenomena, 'di ba? It's a phenomena na talagang maano ka, eh, if you are a reflective person and you are witnessing these things, parang, "Ha, where did all our values go?" 'Di ba?
Totoo, totoo. And ayun nga, saan nanggagaling 'yun? Bakit gano'n yung ano ni Joseph 'no, yung kanyang silence, saan nanggagaling 'yun? Ay 'di, before natin i-ano 'yun, gusto ko rin palang i-point out 'no, kasi ngayon 'di ba may term yung mansplaining na tinatawag 'no, na sinasabi nila especially ito accusation to especially ng mga feminists 'no, na may tendency daw yung mga lalaki na parang i-patronize ba yung mga babae to talk over them, parang gano'n 'no. And then now we have Saint Joseph that we are offering as a model of true masculinity, of Christian masculinity. Silent, tahimik. Hindi naman ibig sabihin nun na papaano ka na lang dun sa asawa mo, sa girlfriend mo, 'di ba? Hindi naman. Siyempre pagka yung tama pa rin, kailangan mo pa rin ano. Pero yung silence sa Saint Joseph, where is it coming from? It's coming from that very definition of Saint Joseph that I think Matthew, yung sabi niya, 'di ba? He's a righteous man. Righteous or sa ibang translation, the just. Itong word na 'to, yung just, pagka pinuntahan natin yung tinatawag nating, wisdom literature sa Old Testament, wisdom literature that will be the book of wisdoms for siyempre yung Psalms, Proverbs, yung Qoheleth, ano bang ano nun, Ecclesiastes ang tawag dun sa ano, 'di ba? Yung anong Ecclesiasticus sa English?
Sirach.
Sirach. Yan, yung mga yan. Job, yan. Ano yan? It falls to that category, wisdom literature. Yung buong wisdom literature, it's like a progress actually nung pag-unawa ng bayan ng Israel dun sa karunungan. Kung ano yung sino ba ang sabyo? Sino ba ang taong marunong? Ang taong hindi siya kaalaman eh. Hindi rin siya matalino eh. Iba yung matalino sa
Wise.
marunong eh. Yung sage, kumbaga.
Pantas.
Pantas, yan. Sino yung wise man? Sino yung pantas? Pag binasa ninyo yung buong wisdom literature, wisdom is actually justice. So, the wise man is the just man, the righteous man. And now we have Saint Joseph, no? The righteous man, the just man. And now we can understand his silence. Silence here in Saint Joseph, hindi siya kaduwagan. Hindi siya, yun nga, yung sasabi kanina ni Russell, no? Yung silence in the face of oppression o silence na nagpipikit-pikitan, bubulag-bulagan. No, no, no. This silence comes from deep wisdom, no? Of a just man. A man who knows when to talk and when not to talk. And at least dun sa kakarampot na meron siyang presence sa Biblia, sa Gospels, Saint Joseph knew that it is not his place to talk. And I think, in a way, that is because he knew that that episode is the place for God to talk. Sa dalawang Okin, yung decision niya na walayan niya si Mary ng patahimik. He did not talk. Hindi niya binunyag sa lahat. Hindi siya Instagram stories ng mga tawag dito, screenshots. Hindi.
Mga cryptic messages.
Ng mga cryptic messages. Hindi. And also, nung sinabihan siya ng angel, hindi rin siya hindi siya nagprotesta, hindi siya compare that to another kasi 'di ba sa Gospels may tatlong annunciation. You have the annunciation to Mary, you have the annunciation to Joseph, and you have the annunciation to Zechariah. Compare that to Zechariah. Nagpakita sa kanya yung anghel at sinabi, yung asawa mo magkakaanak, siya yung magpe-prepare ng daanan ng Panginoon. Anong sabi ni Zechariah? Hindi siya nagsabi ng salamat o ano. Sabi niya, "Paano 'yun? Matanda na kami. Hindi puwedeng mangyari 'yun." Nagreklamo siya. Compare mo 'yun sa reklamo hindi nga reklamo yung kay Mary ano lang, paano mangyayari 'yun? Hindi nga ako ano. So parang ang wino-wonder lang ni Mary yung process, Si Zechariah talagang nire-reject niya yung possibility. Kay
Yeah, if I
Joseph
may add, just to
aha,
tama yun, maganda yun. To distinguish yung difference ng dalawa. Yung tama si Pads Leon doon. Si Zechariah kasi, try to put yourself on the shoes of Zechariah. He's an old man, about 80. Baog yung asawa niya, about 70 years old. Mas pari siya. So, in a way, he sees himself as an authority, spiritual figure, spiritual leader. So, he's really questioning, literally. He is questioning.
yeah, oo.
You know? Ako di sa atin. Pabata ko. At bakit ngayon lang? Parang ganun Ngayon lang. Tanda ko na, boss. Asawa ko baog. Tanda na kami. Paano kami makakapagpalaki ng anak? Etc. But Mary, according to our theologians, it's not questioning. It's not a question of
Of doubt. Hindi.
doubt. It's a question na, okay, ito yung sitwasyon ko ngayon. Paano ako makakatulong dyan? Paano ako makaka-participate dyan?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a question of interest. No? Parang pag magkaibigan, ba? Pre, punta tayo dito. Sige, pero 50 pesos lang pera ko dito. Ako na bahala. Di ba? Ako na bahala sa ano. Akin na ang 50 mo. Ako na bahala sa iba. Parang ganon. That's the difference daw. And yun nga, as to make the point nila, kay Joseph, yung dalawa nagtanong ito talaga wala Pagising na lang niya, ayun.
Wala, tsaka look at it, yung kay Zechariah nagreklamo siya, what happened afterwards? Napipi siya hanggang makita niya yung fulfillment nung pinanganak si John the Baptist. Si Joseph, hindi siya napipi, hindi siya pipi, pero hindi siya nagsalita. Hindi siya because he knew in himself that it is not his place to talk. It is the place of God to talk, no? The wise man, the just man, knows when to talk because he listens. So yun siguro yung pinakaunang mapupulot natin, no, na sa model natin kay Saint Joseph. Joseph is someone who listens. There's another episode sa Gospels, no. If you remember, yung medyo malaki-laki na si Jesus, pero bata pa rin. First time nilang umakyat sa templo. And then, pauwi na sila, kasi magkahiwalay yung babae at lalaki. Dahil bata, so pwede siyang nasa nanay or dun siya sa tatay kasi mga lalaki nga. And then they found out na nawala pala. Nawala pala si Jesus sa sa paligid nila. Wala dun sa isa, wala rin dun sa isa. No? Kasi nakakaravan yan Tapos magkakahiwalay. So imagine, nakabiyahe na sila siguro ng mga ilang araw doon sa ng pauwi na, no? Galing sa Jerusalem dahil nag-celebrate sila ng Pasko. And then they found out na wala siya kahit sa makamag-anak nila. And then they went back, and after 3 days ng paghahanap, imagine that, yung kaba ng isang magulang, no? Ng paghahanap ng nawawala nilang anak. They found him out sa templo. In all of that, nung nakita nila si Jesus, hindi niya pinagalitan. Hindi siya nagsalita. Nakinig siya, no? Sabi ni Mary kay Jesus, "Why are you here? Your father and I have been looking for you. Hindi mo ba alam kung gaano sakit ang idinulot mo sa amin?" At nung sinabi ni Jesus na, "Do you know that I should be in my father's house?" walang reaction si Joseph. Hindi dahil sa ano siya, sa aloof siya at dahil sa wala siyang EQ, wala siyang emotional ano. Hindi eh. It's because he knows how to listen. He knows to listen. hindi siya sad boy na hindi siya ang tatay, sabi ni Russell dito sa hindi siya ano, hindi niya yung sama ng loob. Kasi alam niya rin at tanda niya yon dahil nga wise man siya, just man siya. Tanda niya yung sinabi sa kanya ng angkel. Ang batang ito ay sa Diyos. Ang batang ito ay sa Espiritu Santo. And when that time came dun sa templo at sinabi ni Jesus, I should be in my Father's house, he understood. That's why wala siyang sinabi. That's one thing na sa tingin ko isa sa mga bagay na pwede natin mapulot kay Saint Joseph. No? Yung silence niya that comes from wisdom. And that wisdom, silence, no, it is being taken care of para siyang halaman, no. So kailangan siya ng tubig. Yung tubig nun is listening to the word of God. So that's my first na mapupulot nating aral. Kasi isa-isayin natin from the model of Saint Joseph. Tapos bubuuin natin yan. Ano ba yung ideal man? Yung masculinity, true masculinity, vis-a-vis dito sa toxic, tapos dun sa effeminized. No? So, una doon is that wisdom, silence.
Diba? Ganda nung ganda nung una pa lang yun, no? Sa natin. Sa mga pwede nating values na pwede makuha kay San Jose. Napahapyawan na ni Lennon yung isang value, pero ano muna tayo? Gawin nating iskema o matawag yung framework natin is yung paborito namin style ni Lennon, paloob, palabas, and pataas, no? We start muna sa interior working, no? So we start with the loob, yung loob na pag-uugali, no? O interior work, no, na tinatawag. So we have heard much, no, about the silence. Hindi rin namin kayo bombard sa napakarami attitude. Pero we have here silence, San Jose. Siguro to close it, siguro dun sa silence, yung alam niyo yun, yung we're just trying to translate this sa parlance, so sa wika na maintindihan natin, no? Mga Gen Z, mga millennials. So, if Joseph, you can see every Christmas season, marami kang makikitang mga parodies and memes na ina-undermine nila yung, in a way, of course, they are jokes, no? But subtly, they are undermining the silence of Joseph into naivete, into being, well, stupid, no? Pero if we're just being frank here, yung tulad niya na hindi siya yung tatay. Ang daming mga ganun na almost sacrilegious na nga yung iba. Pero let us again try to take a look at Joseph, in his silence here, and translate it sa way na maintindihan natin sa generation natin. Tayo, sinasabi natin na we are looking, no? We need to be validated. And here we have a man who doesn't need any validation from others except from God. That's what made him righteous. That's what made him the just one. Kasi, kung katulad nga natin, ako na lang siguro, kung katulad ko siya mag-isip, yun nga, gawa ko ng post sa Facebook, magpunta ako dun sa plaza and I will I will make myself, sabihin ko, biktima ako dito. Wala naman akong ginawang masama. Hindi ko pinagmalupitan. Nagtatrabaho ako as karpentero. But in the end, ganito ang ginawa sa akin. But Joseph never subscribed to that. Joseph cannot subscribe to that kind of mindset, rather. He just cannot. Kasi we are looking at a person who is just so in love with God. No? May isang writer nga na sino yun nung parish priest namin ngayon, si Father Hokan. Nakalimutan, Nazarite ba si Jose? Parang ganon. Nazarite or Nazarite?
Parang, oo.
Consecrated siya eh.
Consecrated. Nazarite nga ata. Let me confirm.
So, when the time came, these are just commentaries sa to. Pero mamaya pa pala kasi pala to. Hindi na pala to about silence. Sorry. Pero nga, the validation that he needs is just from God. And this is something that it's really big help, for us men in this generation, in this milieu. Aninong validation ba yung kailangan natin para maramdaman nating lalaki tayo? Sa dami ba ng babae? Tanong natin, si Doc Luke, tanungin natin. Sa laki ba ng sahod?
Kay Brother Francis.
Sa laki ba ng connections? Sa haba ba ng titles sa pangalan? May MA ka na, may PhD ka pa, may STD pa nga yung iba. Maraming mga may STD, di ba? Sacred Theology Doctorate.
Kayo ba STHD na eh?
So, with who we are, we're so busy with preoccupied tayo in maintaining what we do, what we have, what we do not have, and what other people think of us. And just try to imagine, mga pare, and mga mare, sorry. The kind of man Jesus is, and it's a thing that actually baffles me in my reflection time also. Majority, nung values ni Jesus bilang isang tao, specifically bilang isang mama, ay contribution ni Jose. Kaya Jose na nakuha lahat yun. Kaya kung sinabi mo na si Jesus ay mabuti at gentleman at matino at matuwid at magaling at humble, it is because yung airpat niyang si Jose ay ganun din. Kapag sinabi mo si Jesus ay mahusay na carpenter, it's because his dad used to be a good carpenter. Diba? And walang no need ng PR doon. Yeah. Which brings me to our second value. Or second one. Ito, palabas na to. Moron, nasa gitna na siya ng loob at labas. Work. Trabaho. Ay, bago pala yung work, gawin natin siyang pangatlo. Yung isang very, very important na virtue na talagang kapag sa isang usually or conventionally, traditionally, ina-assign siya sa babae. Pero dito, specifically, binibigay natin kay San Jose. Chastity. Chastity pala muna tayo. Kasi paloob eh. It's an internal working bago siya lumabas. If you remember our discussion sa conscience, we have discussed much on chastity. Sa conscience ba yun? O dun sa usapang lalaki pala? na chastity is not only about sexuality, but rather it's the overall purity. The capability of our hearts to be pure. In intention, in action, in determination, no? The purity of the mindset. No? Bakit? Kasi nga, bago nga tayo mag-discuss ng word, kasi nga naman, there are things that we do na tayo lang nakakaalam na may ulterior motive tayo. Minsan pa nga, i-deceive pa natin yung sarili natin. We will make ourselves believe in a lie. No? Knowing that it's a lie, just to make ourselves feel better and just to become more convincing when you are presenting it, yung narrative na yun sa ibang tao. Na wala talagang West Philippine Sea or nung time ko ay walang masyadong kriminalidad o korupsyon or something like that. It's just to illustrate the point. Pero we can always say that. Ano ba? In a way, let's try to challenge ourselves here. Let us take a look sa loob natin. Ano ba yung mga narratives natin na alam natin hindi totoo, pero we make other people believe. And in a way, we have to convince ourselves first. Na hindi, okay itong ginagawa ko. Para sa bayan naman to. O para sa bayan. Something like that. Chastity. May isang maganda sinabi dito, si Robert Barron, and of course, dahil nga also it's March and it's International Women's Month, this is something it's a very good reflection. Highly recommended especially sa mga kaibigan namin na talagang mga thinkers na rin talaga or overthinkers. Robert Barron is a really great Christian thinker of our times. Ang context ito, dalawa, no? Dalawa. Meron kaming gustong i-debunk dito ni Lennon. Una, yung just to lang din, medyo TMI na, too much information, pero nice to know lang, para mapag-usapan. May isang philosopher, ang pangalan niya ay si Karl Popper, no? Ang isa sa mga greatest contributions sa philosophy, specifically sa field ng philosophy of science, is yung principle ng falsifiability. Na kapag sinabi natin, meron tayong pinaniniwalaan, generally accepted na truth ito, pero kahit isang makakapag-kontra lang dito sa pinaniniwalaan natin katotohanan ito, na in-structure na natin for centuries or even millennia. Isa lang na makakapagpatunay na mali na yon agad. So kapag sinabi nga niya na lahat ng kalapate ay puti, pero nakakita ka ng kalapating kulay itim, ibig sabihin, hindi talaga lahat ng kalapate ay puti. Parang gano'n. Pero ano lang yan sample lang yan. Pero anong point ko dito? Yung isang myth, no? Sa tingin namin, dito sa tamang usapan ay atrasado o baluktot na pananaw is yung kasabihan na men will always be men. Kapag ang isang lalaki ay may tendency maging misogynistic, kailangan manyakis. Oo, parang gano'n. Kailangan kailangan medyo bastos. No? Kailangan green joke talaga. Kailangan marunong siya mag-green joke. Kailangan nag-objectify talaga siya ng babae. Parang gano'n. Oh, yan. Tama. Maginoo na medyo bastos. Kasi sinasabi natin, ganun talaga kasi lalaki yan. Now, men will always be men. And here we have Joseph. Joseph of Nazareth. And from him, he raised another great, and the greatest of the greatest gentlemen, Jesus of Nazareth. and they were not like that. So, applying Karl Popper's principle, hindi totoo yun. Ibig sabihin, men are not designed to be that way. So, yun yung unang isa sa gusto namin, di ba? Pangalawa, yung pangalawa, nakalimutan ko na. So, yun na lang muna. So, sabi dito, yung sa reflection ni Robert Barron, naalala ko na. Yung pangalawa, men are always superior nga daw, no? Sa babae. Although, na-discuss na namin to doon sa, sa usapang babae, usapang feminismo with Doc Joyce, then even before that, yung unang episode namin ng International Women's Day, no? Kaya nga, ang naratibo nga daw, according sa Genesis, ang babae kinuha sa tadyang. Nauna na talaga likha ng lalaki. Pero it's the same composition. It's the same material. At nandito siya sa gitna, tadyang eh. Ano ba English ang tadyang? Loin. No? Sa loin siya kinuha, di ba? Hindi siya kinuha sa may bandang ulo. Para, rib pala, rib. Tadyang, oh. Hindi siya kinuha sa may bandang ulo kasi symbolic eh, di ba? Kasi hindi superior ang babae. Hindi siya kinuha din sa paa o sa lower extremity. Kasi hindi siya inferior, hindi siya meant na apak-apakan. Kinuha siya sa may tadyang. Kasi literal na magkatuwang sila eh. Magkasabay sila sa journey. Ganun din. Kasi may mga certain religious traditions or political traditions na talagang pinagpupumilit nilang isubdue ang kababaihan. No? Na ilagay sa sinasabi nila sa kanilang rightful place, which is something na inferior lagi sa lalaki. No? At ang lalaki ay laging malakas at laging provider and provider, okay, pero laging malakas physically, sure, no? Otherwise, kahit naman mag-assign ka ng lumberjack na babae. Pero hindi rin yan dahilan para ang mga Disney, sorry, nagpangalan na ako naman. Yung mga Hollywood, pa natin. Yung mga Hollywood depictions sa ngayon yung lalaki ay mahina, lalaki ay kontrabida, tapos heroine ang bida.
Pagka malakas yung lalaki, automatic na kontrabida yan.
Oo, oppressor siya. Well, we can discuss that sa ibang episode. No? Yung mga prisms, no? Yung political na yan. Pero hindi yun ang point ko. Kasi sabi ko lang, yun. Number one, since we're talking about chastity, number one, yung men will be men, hindi yung totoo na kailangan maging manyakis para maging tunay na lalaki ka. Number two, hindi attribute ng isang tunay na lalaki o isang lalaki, no, na ikaw ay may pagtingin na mas mataas ka sa kababaihan, na parang kailangan sila ay ginagabayan lagi. Sila ay napaka-fragile na kailangan silang ingat-ingatan. Kasi sabi nila yun kanina yung mansplaining ko, no? Although yan, apart lang din yan ng naratibo nung hopefully mahal pa rin kami ni Doc Joyce at we may not agree. We may agree to disagree, pero the point is, we also do not fully subscribe dun sa mga misogynistic na pananaw, no? Kasi we're also growing and we need to grow. Pero ito, sabi ni Robert Barron, ang haba pa sa kali ko, all men are called by the Eternal Father to guard women's chastity. Oy, baka hindi ito contradictory dun sa number 2? Hindi, kasi sabi dito, to guard women's chastity by guarding first their own. And here I mean chastity in the broadest sense of placing one's red-blooded erotic desire in service of the full truth of human sexuality as it exists in its God-given meaning. And for men, this can be a cause for great, great heroism. Diba? Sabi pa dito further, no? I am absolutely convinced that men who commit themselves to this work of chaste guardianship can become, though much prayer and fraternal support, great saints of post-modernity. Yung ating current environment, no? Yung landscape natin ngayon. In suffering, it's often great demands in the face of a super eroticized culture. And to specify, sabi ni Baron dito, here I would also add that men who indulge in pornography, extramarital sex, abusive or abusing sex, or contraception have gravely compromised this guard post, no, that God entrusted to them and have failed to be men of St. Joseph. Last week, no, last week we were talking about Christian warfare. That we are always at war. No. But this is not that kind of war. Pero as men, we can resonate better if we are talking about warfare. Kasi in a way, culturally, kaimsin naman sa atin yun na sundalo, bilang mga sundalo. Pero ito yung ano eh. Ito yung isa sa mga greatest battlefield sa atin, especially sa ating sa salukuyang panahon. The battle for chastity. And Saint Joseph is an ultimate model. He's he can really help us. He's a good mentor of this. Yun sa akin. To. Yeah. Sige nun. Yun lang sa akin. So, we have silence. Then we have chastity. Silence kasi, it can be active. Hindi lang siya passive eh. Na parang tanggap ka ng nangyayari. Gusto mong magsalita, pwede kang magsalita, pero you choose not to. That's active silence. No? And it will only, complementary siya. It's made possible, pag silent ka, you choose to be silent, you become chaste. Pero if you are chaste, you can also become silent. So, ikaw nun, paano mo yan?
Again, no, na napag-usapan na natin to, itong episode natin with Doc Luke, yung first one. I think, yung sa masculinity, no? The chastity is not a deprivation. Yun yung, yun, yung especially yung sa tinatawag nating evangelical counsels, diba? Poverty, obedience, chastity. Minsan merong maling interpretation dun as a deprivation of something, no? So, poverty, deprivation of wealth, of private property, obedience, deprivation of freedom, and then chastity, no? Deprivation of sexual urges. It's not deprivation. In all of these, it's always the, ano bang term sa English? Enriquecimiento. Yung mas matutuklasan mo yung meaning ng word, yung mas mapapagyaman yon sa Tagalog, di ba? So sa obedience, you have true freedom in obedience. Sa poverty, you have true richness, true wealth in poverty, no? That's it. That is simplicity of life. And then now here in chastity, you have true love, you have true passion in chastity, no? And chastity in the broader sense, hindi lang siya yung lack of sexual urges or lack of sexual activities. Kasi, again, sexual activity is not bad. It's created by God. No? It's meant for the good. It's meant, kung yun ang paraan para sa procreation, then it is a good thing. No? What happens is that maraming bagay sa mundong to na mabubuti ang ina-abuse natin. Then comes there the evil, no? Laging ganun eh. When we abuse something, tinatanggal natin yung essence niya nung something na yun, no? Imagine, a table. A table, ang essence ng table is that, especially, sabihin natin na table yun para sa pagkain. So, anong essence ng table na yun? Kumain ka doon. Ilagay mo doon yung pagkain, lagay mo yung plato, lagay mo yung mga kubyertos mo, kumain ka doon. Paano kapag ginawa mo hagdan? Ginawa mo siyang hagdan. That's abusing the table kasi hindi mo na ginagamit siya doon sa essence niya. Ganon din sa sa case itong ng sexual activity. When we abuse sexual activity, then we are abusing the essence, why it was created. So chastity is actually a broader one, na itong ating sexuality, we consecrate it, we use it not just for self-gratification, but in the service of others, in the service of God. Yung passions, yun yung classical term, yung passions. Passions can be used for the service of God, in many forms. Kung mananatili lang tayo sa sexual activity inside of marriage, that is in the service of God, yung sexual activity din, because it's an opening to a new life that is a participation in God's creation, in God's creative power. Yung passions mo, pwede mo siyang i-transfer sa evangelization, for example, or sa anything else, di ba? Yun yung passions. So, that's chastity. It's not a deprivation. And Saint Joseph is our model of chastity. In fact, ang classical title ni Saint Joseph is the protector of virgins. In the sense that he is the protector of chastity of everyone. Hindi lang yung physical, hindi lang yung physical virginity, but more importantly, the virginity of the heart. So, the chastity that we are talking about, that we are saying that men should be chaste, hindi namin sinasabi na masama yung yung sexual activity, so dapat di nyo na gagawin. No. We are saying na mabuti yan, pero gawin mo yan sa tamang panahon, sa tamang lugar, at sa malaman mo ba yung limitations niya, yung tunay niyang gamit, yung tunay niyang essence. And then that passions, yung term ni Bishop Barron na the red blood, the hot-blooded erotic desires, you use that for the good. So yan yung natin ng chastity. So I think we move on to the third na virtue ni Saint Joseph na as a model for men. And that is, of course, we know that Saint Joseph is also the patron saint of workers. He was a carpenter. Kaya nga, after some months sa May 1, tama ba? May 1, we celebrate Saint Joseph, the worker. Kaya nga tayo nagse-celebrate ng Labor Day. Kasi nag-coincide yun dun sa piyesta ni Saint Joseph, the worker. And work is essential to man, to human beings, because kanino bang yun? Kanino ba yun yung we are a working animal? Kasi
emphasize lang natin yun, when we say work is essential to man, it's to us all.
To us all, yeah, to us all, to men and women.
To men and women siya. Yeah.
Kasi work is an expression of your ngayon kasi medyo I don't want to linger on this so much kasi mag-iibang topic na to. Pero nowadays, medyo hindi natin masyadong ma-appreciate yun na it's essential to human fulfillment. Kasi most of our work, of our jobs, consists on mass production, on fulfilling tasks, yung mas mga traditional, mas makikita natin yung mas mga traditional na mga trabaho. Yung tinatawag natin yun. Kaya mas mahal ngayon yung mga handiwork, yung mga artisans na tinatawag natin. Why? Because it is not only completing tasks, it's actually expressing yourself in the work of your hands. It's a work that expresses yourself, a work that fulfills. It's not just a job, no? Hindi ka lang nag-aano ng tasks. And yun yung makikita nating model kay Saint Joseph. Over his whole life, he was a carpenter, no? Was working, tinuruan niya rin si Jesus ng kanyang trade. And as a craftsman, yung virtues, no? Ito, we can resonate with it. Nakita natin yung ating mga magulang na kung paano sila maging masinop sa kanilang trabaho, na alam mo yon, yung hindi na lang siya trabaho, siya ay parte na ng pagiging ikaw, ng pagiging ako, no? Kaya nga, ito lagi kong sinasabi doon sa mga nagsasabi na mayroong crisis, especially sa kanilang professional life, no? Na especially when they say to me that I no longer feel fulfilled. Kasi pwede nga sabihin, baka I am not saying na pag di ka na masaya, umalis ka na. Hindi. Yung tanong dito is yung fulfillment. Is your job, what you are doing, do you feel that you can identify dun sa ginagawa mo? O ano lang, parang para lang matapos mo yung 8 hours, para lang matapos mo yung buwan, para magkaroon ka lang ng sweldo. Are we reducing? This is a problem for each one of us living in this actually post-capitalistic na nga post-capitalistic society. Are we reducing our work into mere salary, into mere compliance ng finishing tasks, no? Wala nang masama doon. Salary is something na sabi nga, 'di ba, sa Gospels din 'yun eh. Karapatan ng manggagawa na matanggap niya ang kanyang sahod. Sabi nga, sa Gospels 'yun, ha. Pero doon lang ba? Nandun na lang ba yung or do you feel fulfilled on what you are doing? Do you feel na extra lang yung kumbaga, kung maganda yung sahod mo, thank you very much. Kung tama lang, okay lang pa because I feel fulfilled, no? So I think nandun yung key dun sa especially sa time natin nowadays, na hindi natin ma-reduce yung work to a mere job, to a mere fulfilling of tasks, no? So ngayon, syempre mas makakapag-share dito si Russell as a worker, no? As a civil servant. Mas makapag-share siya dito sa natin, sa virtue ni Saint Joseph sa work, especially sa work ethic niya, no?
Yan, kasi mga pare, mga asa lang kayo sa mga nyo.
Mga elitista kami. Then, nag-work din kami, nag-office ako. Ha?
Mga Panginoong may lupa kayo.
Sana nga may lupa eh.
Thank you noon. Ang ganda nung ganda nung panimula ni Lennon sa manner of work, no? Ang galing, no? Napapasaya din ako sa kayo, kilala niyo naman kami, so yung background namin and yung passion namin sa liturgy. So, I can safely say na kami magkakaibigan, kabisado namin yung liturgical calendar. So, kaya na rin namin mag-compute kung kailan yung mga at least yung mga feasts, no? Tapos yung mga, kung mag-determine mga movable feasts or something like that. Nabanggit ko lang yan kasi dalawa lang yung santo na lalaki. Lalaki ba? Dalawang santong lalaki na peculiar yung pag-celebrate ng piyesta nila. So, isa doon si John the Baptist kasi sineselebrate yung birthday niya. No? So, sineselebrate din yung pagkamatay niya. Pero, again, it points to Jesus kasi nga naman, forerunner siya ng Jesus. And mayroong special na puwang sa sa buhay ni John the Baptist. Kaya merong exemption doon na sige, celebrate ang birthday niya. Kasi importante yun eh. Kasi biblical kasi yun. Dahil pinanganak si John the Baptist, kaya alam natin na pinanganak din si Jesus eh. Parang ganun natin. No? Kaya forerunner talaga siya. And yun, sa tradisyon ng simbahan, usually naman pinagdiriwang natin is hindi yung pagkapanganak niya sa mundong ito, kundi yung pagpanganak sa isang tao sa buhay na walang hanggan, which is the day of the death. Dahil mga piyesta, mga santong mga paborito natin, kilala natin, malamang sa malamang, petsa yan ng kamatayan nila. No? Pero here we have another thing about Joseph again, celebrate his titles. No? And ano ba, hindi ba duplicity of efforts yan, Sel? Kasi dalawa, ang title. Kasi March 19, we celebrate him as husband of the Blessed Virgin Mary. And May 1, we celebrate Saint Joseph, the worker. The thing here is, it's very important na yung essence natin bilang tao is not reduced by what we do. That's why we also have to celebrate what we do, but not to the point of reducing our identity as somebody who just does what we usually do. Nag-gets ba ako? Or Tagalogin ko na lang. Yung pagkatao natin, o yung existence natin, yung halaga natin, ay hindi lang dapat masukat, hindi lang siya nasusukat sa kung ano ginagawa natin. So, mayroon pang mas mahalaga doon na essence. At yun ay kung paano tayo tinakda ng Diyos maging. Hence, very important yung pagiging asawa niya ng mahal na birhen. Kasi dahil doon, naging tatay-tatayan siya ng anak ng Diyos. Which is the greatest honor for a man na lalaki. For a man to ever receive. Being the one to teach the Son of God how to become a man. Imagine mo yan. And that is simply beyond merely working. Ang ganda na sinabi ni Lennon doon sa healthy understanding natin ng work. Hindi siya about salary making. This is something very, very close to our hearts as Filipinos. Na ako, hindi dahil worker ako or somebody. Sa ating mga Pinoy, mas maintindihan nyo itong sinasabi namin kung ilagay natin sa konteksto nung pinakamalapit talaga sa puso natin mga Pinoy. Which is mamaya, yun yung ating pang-apat na value. Pamilya. Diba? Tatrabaho tayo para sa mga pamilya natin. No? Susumikap tayo para sa mga pamilya natin. So, dahil doon, regardless kung breadwinner ka o hindi, may malaking puwang na merong kaya ka nagtatrabaho kasi merong umaasa sa'yo. And kay San Jose, hindi kasi yun yung priority ng work eh. Dapat siya maging fruit ng work. At dahil nagtatrabaho ka, gumiginhawa yung buhay ng pamilya mo. Pero hindi siya yung cause. Kasi, ang prinsipyo nga doon, kapag ang motivation natin nga ay para sa pamilya natin, una, we cannot really be that consistent. Kasi may time ka dyan, tayo, mga Gen Z, millennials, sige, sarili ko muna isipin ko. Kasi nakakapagod na rin, nabigay ako ng bigay. Diba? Joseph does not have this kind of mindset and cannot, again, tulad sa science, he cannot have that kind of mindset. Work is something personal. It's a personal commitment. Hindi siya commitment sa opisina o sa workshop mo kung saan. It's personal commitment, ibig sabihin, pumapasok ka sa sarili mo, pumapasok ka para sa sarili mo. You're being present for yourself. Yun yung idea ng work na kapag ganun yung mindset natin ng work, una, we will really pray for what we want, no, to do. Kasi yung fulfillment na nakukuha natin sa trabaho, it's something deeper. Nakatumbas siya ng fulfillment sa buhay whenever we see our families happy. So, again, the provision of the needs of our family should be the first fruit of the fulfillment that we have sa work. Kasi kapag tayo na burn out, sisisihin din natin ang pamilya natin. Ngayon kasi, diba? And nandun tayo nagkaka-leche-leche. It's a very sensitive topic. Siguro pagdating ng Mayo, mag-imbita siguro tayo ng employment expert para mas maliwanagan tayo. Pero yun yung point na when we look at Joseph, he loved this work, no? Pero yung ibig sabihin doon na he loved this work is he saw to it na present siya for uma-attend siya for himself, so parang he has to be there for himself to make that work meaningful. Kaya tayo, very yan sa akin to, very close to my heart kasi marami sa atin nasa lugar tayo na hindi natin ito primary choice. Hindi natin ito talaga ginusto. Pero we have to kasi we have families to feed. Yeah. And we have cravings to satisfy. O marami tayong utang na para kailangan natin bayaran. If you will ask me, matututunan ko rin ba mahalin yung trabaho? Oh, sure. Yes. Yes. You just have to be present always sa sarili mo. The agent of that work is yourself. So kung iiwanan mo yung sarili mo, what good will that do? Mahirap na nga yung trabaho, pahirapan mo palalo sa sarili mo. Kaya nga yun yung sinasabi nila nung college kami, nasa thesis kami, piliin mo yung topic na talagang gustong-gusto mo. Para kapag kahit nakapikit ka, gusto mo siyang i-discuss, kabisado mo siya, kasi mahihirapan ka along the writing process. At least, kung nahihirapan ka, at least masaya ka nahihirapan. Di ba? Na? Imagine, our generation today, especially nga daw sa according to studies, yung Gen Z, they have a different manner of work. Wala sa kanila yon. Ako na, medyo jologs kami ni Father Lennon eh. Medyo conscious kami dun sa yung record, service record, yung reputasyon, na patalon-talon sa trabaho. Ay, ako ayoko nun, allergic ako sa ganun. Kahit nahirapan, persevere. Pag hindi talaga kaya o may talagang mga external factors o forces na labas sa control, only then you discern to leave. Something like that. Pero ang battle cry nga, pag hindi ka na masaya, umalis ka na. No? So it is reflective of our generation na ngayon. Very far from yun nga. Siguro malaking factor dahil puro nga tayo opisina, puro tayo virtual. Putik, mahirap naman talaga namang mag-work from home na karpentero ka. Mahirap na may virtual, di ba? Pero I
Nasa
think
home
it's
naman
also
daw yung
important.
talyer eh.
Oo, nasa workshop mo, no? Pero it's also important siguro to really develop also yung physical na work. In every seminary meron yan, yung laborandum. Latin kasi yun eh. Sa iba manualya, yung iba groundwork. Ewan ko kalala yun. Ano ba tawag sa inyo yan?
Manualya.
Manualya yan sa amin eh.
Ah, sa iba, no, poloy serbisyo. Joke lang.
Oo. Sa 333 years, polo is servicios yan sa, sa Pilipinas under Spain. Iba rin yun. Ibang kwan yan. Dito yung sinasabi nating work as a virtue is to utilize ourselves the way God intended us to be. Parang ganun eh. Na if you are a priest, be the best version of the priest as God intends, as God designed you. If I am a research specialist, to become the best version of myself as a research specialist. Tinawag ng Diyos. Parang ganun. So, there's no room for mediocrity. No? No, kaya sinasabi nila, ina-attribute nila yun kay San Jose na kasabihan. Pero of course, hindi nga San Jose nagsabi nun. Pero the idle mind is the workshop of the devil. No, kapag marami kang time mag-isip, especially pag nasa trabaho ka, nasa seminaryo ka, mga seminarista nakikinig nito, it's very important. Pag marami kang time mag-isip, you really have to check, no? Something is wrong. There is something wrong with you being there. Kasi you should be always busy. Why? Kapag marami ka ng time mag-isip, talagang mapapalabas ka ng seminaryo. Ganun din sa trabaho. Pag nasa workplace ka at marami kang time mag-isip, ibig sabihin tayo hindi ka nagtatrabaho. Kasi pag busy ka, and lalo na kapag masaya kang busy ka, marami kang nagagawa. And hindi mo isipin yan, sulit sa akin ng gobyerno. Inaabuso ako ng simbahan. Walang gano'n. Ay, nako. Pero hindi pa tayo tapos dyan sa work na yan, pero pag-usapan natin sa ibang episode. No? Which brings us to our second to the last, no, siguro, na value. Or, ganun ba? Let's see. Pero yon, as a second value when it comes to relationships, no? Work is a relationship kasi. A relationship with yourself and your co-workers, di ba? But this time, ano ba meron sa pagkatao ni Jose na talagang maintindihan natin mga lalaki? It's family, no? Joseph is a model family man. No? He did not only provide, yeah, but he also protected them from every danger that there was. No? Especially in death threats kay Jesus. Diyos ko. So, isang panawagan na practical, no, naka-embed na dito yung mga suggestments namin eh. You really have to be strong physically to protect your family. Imagine mo, mas macho sa'yo yung asawa mo. Diyos ko naman. Pero family, dito papasok yon yung we Filipinos, we really prioritize our family. And it's a virtue na grasya ng Diyos yun sa pagiging Pilipino na. May mga ibang lahi na gano'n din siguro. Pero hindi lahat. No? Sa US, once you're 18, obligado ka nang umalis sa poder ng magulang mo. Pero dito, na kahit ilang taon ka, tatrabaho ka na, may pamilya ka, minsan tumitira ka pa rin sa parents. At kahit may family na, yun nga, medyo yun nga lang ang problem natin kasi kahit Pilipino, kahit may sarili tayong pamilya, we still feel the obligation to provide, no? To support our family, our parents when they are aging. Struggle siya natin kasi bugbog na talaga yung kultura natin ng ibang kultura. Saksak tayo ng saksak kasi ng na iba't ibang ina-accommodate natin lahat ng practices ng ibang lahi. Kaya ngayon, nagkakaroon tayo ng identity crisis din. Kung tama pa ba itong family values na to o mali ito kasi dapat sarili ko lang muna, ganito, ganito. That independent na ako. Dapat hindi ako ginagawang ATM ng parents ko, hindi ako ginagawang emergency life plan, hindi ako retirement plan. May mga ganun tayo And we resent our parents and we sometimes we destroy bridges, we build walls to protect ourselves from who? From our family. Kasi pag naglalabo-labo, saan ba tayo uwi? Sa family lang din naman. So, ano ba meron kay Jose na pwede nating matularan na siya ay laging present for his family. He works because he has a family also. And he lives for his family. And he died with his family. Kaya Saint Joseph is also the patron saint of a happy death. Tulad ng argument kanina, ano pa ba ang pinakadakilang honor, karangalan sa isang lalaki? Maging tatay-tatayan at least, no? Ng anak ng Diyos. So ano pa ba yung pinaka-happy na kamatayan? Yung mamatay ka na hawak-hawak ang kamay mo ng anak ng Diyos, ng mahal na ina. Diba? So, he's a patron of a happy death. And the way the Holy Family lived, kung siya sana makadraw tayo doon na inspiration na hindi tayo holy, hindi tayo perfect. Yun nga yung note doon ba? Holy family siya hindi siya perfect family. Yeah. And then, with all the imperfection, with all the challenges, imagine being the son of God, hindi pinadala ng hindi inintend ng ama na ipadala ang kanyang anak sa isang palasyo. Rather, mahirap silang pamilya. No? Sa Nazareth pa na parang tondo. Melting pot yun Ando na lahat ng mga ng mga mababait at mga salbahe. Kasi melting pot. Kaya nga may mga scholars, they're suggesting na Jesus really knew the trade. Talagang street smart siya kasi people who speak Greek, doon sila titipon sa Nazareth Mga other nationalities. Kaya may tanong, may matino ba nang galing sa Nazareth? Kasi nung tondo of the time. And the Holy Family lived there. And imagine, despite all these imperfections and their sufferings, they managed to become the Holy Family. Ibig sabihin, they're so for us and for our families, no matter how broken they may be. Sila perfect family. Pero they have their share of the struggles of a daily family life. Tayo kaya, syempre.
Fun fact, no? Yung mga Jose, parang si Jose Rizal, ang palayaw nila Pepe, di ba? That came from the Latin. Kasi nakasulat, Joseph, laging may P, patrem, pater putativus, no? Or the supposed father, kumbaga. So, Father, and also, yung sineselebrate natin today, Saint Joseph, husband of Mary, no? So, yung importance ni Joseph in his family relationship, yun yung sineselebrate natin. In fact, dito sa Spain, we celebrate Father's Day today because it is the Solemnity of Saint Joseph. Kaya ngayon na yun. At tapos ang Mother's
So
Day ay sa
hindi third Sunday.
hindi.
Hindi third Sunday ng June.
June, hindi. So ngayon ang Father's Day, no? Coinciding with the Solemnity of Saint Joseph.
See. Okay.
Kasi nga, Joseph is really the model of a family man. Bakit siya model ng family man? Paano siya nagkaroon ng ganong dedication sa kanyang family, no? We have to go back dun sa mga naunang virtues. Yung silence niya that entails wisdom and listening. Yung kanyang chastity that entails dedicating his passion towards the good of the other. At yung kanyang dedication sa work, no? That work na sabi nga ni Russell, ganda nung pagkakasabi mo kanina doon, Sel, that work is not the cause of the work is not the family, rather providing for the family is the fruit of the work, no? So from there, provided for his family. So galing dun sa naunang mga yon na mga virtues, kaya galing tayo paloob and palabas. So now he can be really a true family man. And now we are offering you Joseph as a model of a true father versus dun sa mga fake idea ng tatay na kailangan lang matapang, kailangan palamura, kailangan nambabastos. Hindi yun ang tunay na tatay. Ang tawag doon, matandang hukluban. Kasi hindi yun eh. Ano yun? Misogynistic. Yun, babalik ka pa rin doon yung men will be men. But that is not what men are called to be. Men are called to be like Joseph, no? The just, the righteous. Kaya nga, in front, dahil mahilig akong gumawa ng mga terms, no? So, in front of the toxic masculinity, or the toxic male, and the woke version, the effeminized male, we offer you the Josephine male, the Josephine masculinity. And this is both na in-offer namin to para sa ating mga male listeners, no, na sabi sa statistics ay almost 30-35% ng ating listeners. We offer you this as a model, no, Saint Joseph. And for our female listeners, we also offer you Saint Joseph, no? Saint Joseph, to look for the ideal man, look for the characteristics of Joseph. Lalo na't napakarami nating mga female listeners. Si Russell po, tingnan ninyo kung nasa kanyang characteristics ni Joseph, no? And very kahit si Saint Teresa of Avila, napakatindi ng devotion niya kay Saint Joseph, no? So, yung ating discussion today about Saint Joseph, it's not just concerning about our male audiences, but also our female audiences, no? Because Saint Joseph, again, is the patron of the whole church, no? Because, again, as a family man, when Christ was resurrected, sabi ni Saint Paul, di ba? We became adopted sons and daughters of God in Christ, crucified and resurrected. So now, Saint Joseph, the pater putativus of Jesus, of the Son of God, is now also the pater putativus of everyone, of each and every one of us. So, ask him, no? Saint Teresa of Avila, laging may very tindi nung kanyang devotion kay Saint Joseph, sabi niya. Pagka meron akong kinakailangan sa kanya, ako laging lumalapit, no? sa kanya ako laging naghihingi. Ito, may sinend si Russell na quotation from Saint Teresa. I wish I could persuade everyone to be devoted to this glorious saint, for I have great experience of the blessings which he can obtain from God. I have never known anyone to be truly devoted to him and render him particular services who did not notably advance in virtue, for he gives very real help to souls who commend themselves to him. For some years now, I think I have made some request of him every year on his festival, and I have always had it granted. If my petition is in any way ill directed, he directs it right for my greater good. Sabi ni Saint Teresa of Avila. So, again, our recommendation for everyone is to know Saint Joseph. For our male audiences, to have Saint Joseph as your model, no? And also, yung devotion. Cultivate a relationship with him so that you can follow his example. To our female audiences also, we offer Saint Joseph as an intercessor, a protector, no? And yun nga, ulitin ko yun, I want to emphasize on that. Ite ad Joseph. So, if you are looking for a man, you're single right now, ite ad Joseph. Look for Joseph. If you are thinking about your manliligaw, look for Joseph. Tingnan mo yung qualities. Ito mga pinisa-isa natin. And lastly, no? So, ayan. To recapitulate, na meron tayong silence, meron tayo nung sa kanyang chastity, work, and family. The fifth one that ties all of this, no, is Joseph's openness to God, the virtue of prayer, of contemplation. Kaya nga, di ba, I remember when Pope Francis came sa Pilipinas, he introduced, or rather, hindi naman talaga niya introduce, hindi man original na kanya, pero siya yung nag-open sa ating mga Pilipino nung devotion dun sa tinatawag na Sleeping Saint Joseph, di ba? Yung image, yung natutulog na Saint Joseph. Very vulnerable. Hindi siya ibig sabihin na itulog mo lang, mawawala ang problema. No. The image of Saint Joseph is actually an image of being open to God, because in his sleep, in his dream, has become open to God and to his command. Doon nagdumating yung angel, di ba? Saan niya ng angel? Kunin mo si Maria, ang anak niya ay sa Espiritu Santo. And he contemplated on it, and he did it. He did what he was commanded to do. He trusted, and he is open to God's command. So yan, contemplation. Yan ang ating last na para magta-tie up sa lahat ng to eh. Nung tawag dito, nung virtues niya, di ba? So, lagi yan siya. Yung sa sleep niya, na in a way, yung contemplation niya, yung prayer life niya, lagi nandoon. Yung sinabi sa kanya ng angel, yung si Maria, nung bumalik yung angel, sabi niya, tumakas kayo, pumunta kayo ng Ehipto. Wala siyang reklamo. Pumunta siya, sumunod siya sa Diyos. Bakit? Hindi dahil hinayaan lang niya, hindi dahil wala siyang lakas ng loob. No. Because he is aware of God's voice. He is aware when to talk and when not to talk, because he can recognize God's voice. Nandun yung sa virtue niya ng contemplation, sa prayer life niya. At I think that dyan ko tatapusin yung akin. And now, Russell will tie it up.
Sa akin, simple lang din sa contemplation. Ito yung pang-debunk naman namin sa mansplaining. Ang isang lalaki na we are comfortable with nothingness. Ibig sabihin, it's okay na minsan hindi natin alam ang sagot. No? Ayun pala, yun, actually, yun, pwedeng sixth yun eh. Pero, encompassing na yun dito sa contemplation. Yung humility, no? Ni San Jose. Pero, part yun ng openness sa Diyos eh. Kasi kung wala kang humble na puso, hindi ka magiging open eh sa promptings ng Holy Spirit. Pero, what I'm saying here is, yung mansplaining, myth lang din yan. Parang naratibo lang din yun siguro na to explain the phenomenon. Bakit ang mga lalaki is they're trying to always quote-unquote solve women's problems for them. Siguro because they are not docile enough. Kasi if you're docile, di ba sabi nga ni Socrates, di ba? The more you know, the less you know. The more na marami kang alam, mas natututunan mo, wala ka pala talagang alam. And applying this sa contemplation, sa prayer, sa pagiging docile o open ng puso ni San Jose, it's okay na hindi natin alam ang lahat. Ang ganda nga nun, yung devotion ni Pope Francis doon sa natutulog ng San Jose. Kasi may mga times talaga hindi mo talaga alam kung ano nangyayari sa buhay mo. Hindi mo alam ang gagawin. And Saint Joseph is an example. He really went through it. Na it is completely okay. Hindi mo alam ang gagawin. Problema ng Diyos yun. Di hayaan mo ang Diyos sa mga problema. Just remain open. Open communication lang. Para kapag sinabi niyo na sa'yo kung anong gagawin, at least you know when and how to act. The problem with mansplaining, hinuhugutan na sa merong ganun sa government eh. Hinuhugutan na lang kasi you don't want to lose face. Ayaw mo pahiya, tapos ayaw mong ma-brand ka na walang alam or ma-brand ka na incompetent. So you will just paghahalo-haluin mo na lang yung mga yung mga alam mo. Tulad ng ginagawa ko ngayon. It's yung tinatawag nila fake it till you make it. San Jose does not have that kind of mentality and he cannot have that kind of mindset. Meron si San Jose, hindi ko alam ang nangyayari. So help me. Teach me what to do. And it makes life lighter, easier in a way. It makes life more meaningful because you don't have to go through things all by yourself. Minsan kasi yun ang nakakapagod talaga sa experience ko personally. Sila nung being an OFW and all, you can also resonate. Yun ang pinaka nakakapagod naman talaga sa personal life sa interior life. Yung i-figure out ang mga bagay-bagay by yourself. Nagkaka-struggle ka sa relationships, nagkaka-struggle ka sa pera, nagkaka-struggle ka sa trabaho, nagkaka-struggle ka sa health mo. It's really difficult to figure it out by yourself. Pero once you begin saying, I need help, I can't do this by myself, it takes also a lot of humility to admit. Especially, minsan kasi ang daming mga senaryo sa utak natin, no? Siguro isa yun sa mga practical na attributes ng pagkakaroon ng openness sa Diyos. Hindi ka nabubuhay sa what if, saka hindi ka nabubuhay sa utak. Yung mga senaryo sa utak mo na parang, ganito, wala nang pag-asa kasi ganito, ganyan. And madalas, yung mga nasa utak natin, mas malala naman kaysa sa nangyari sa totoong buhay. So we have to remain grounded in our reality and to be comfortable with our reality, especially when our reality is a discomfort. Sabi na rector namin, we have to learn to be comfortable with discomfort. So when we do, wala na. Maning-mani na ang comfort. Kasi comfort na yun eh. Diba? So, itong natin, itong usapang lalaki natin for today, sa totoo po, wala talaga itong outline. So, salamat, Tatay Jose. Salamat sa Holy Spirit. Wala itong outline. Tapos, iba dapat ang topic ngayon. Politika dapat eh. Ito, sinanong ko si Pads. Kailan ba natin na to i-air eh? March 19, pag-usapan natin si San Jose. Tama nga si Santa Teresa, di ba? Pagka lumapit ka kay Jose, hindi ka talaga mabibigo. So yun, hindi na ako bibigay suggestion kasi may suggestion na si Father Lennon. Tapos, most of the discussions naman is very practical, applicable. And may special pa nga suggestion si Lennon doon para sa mga babae na nakikinig nitong aming podcast. Very ideal na ang hingin mo kay San Jose katulad niya. No? Pero siguro ang isa idadagdag ko lang doon, look for a man who also loves the Blessed Mother and Jesus above anything else in the world. Kasi no man ever loved Mary and Jesus the way Joseph did. So, if you happen to have met a man who does so, you're in good hands and your family will be in good hands.
Pero di ba love mo naman si Jesus tsaka si Mama Mary?
Depende, minsan.
Binibenta na nga kita eh.
Hindi man sa pero Josephine ang nanay ko. Ako yung hindi Josephine, no? Yung attribute si San Jose, it's very simple, but at the same time, it's very idealistic in a way. No? Pero attainable. Kaya natin. The key here is awareness. No? The moment we become aware, doon pala magsisimula yung journey towards consistency, silence, chastity. So chastity, we can translate it into having a pure intention in everything that we do, we say, and we think. The work that we do, kasi sabi, totoo naman yun, yung ating battle kay sa work na yun, di ba sabi, we work to live, not the other way around. We live to work. But actually, mas totoo pa rin yung the latter. We live to work. Kasi work is part of life. Kahit nga yung hindi pagtatrabaho is actually working. It's working for the bad nga lang. Kasi design talaga yung katawan natin to do something. Even sa medical field, di ba? Even moving is a form of workout. Kasi we are designed this way. We are designed to work. Diba? Even relationships, di ba? Mag-work ba tayo? Everything is may operation. Even the word operation is operare, opera. Opera, opus means work. So everything is about work, no? And of course, you have family life. And at the foundation of this all, kahit sabi mo strong ka mentally, strong ka emotionally, physically, strong ka intention mo, you do all this work, you have your family life. Can't be Joseph if we do not pray, if we do not love God. Kaya kanina bangit yung Nazareth, no? Kasi Joseph, even before he met Mary, before Mary and Jesus came to his life, he has no other love but God. That's what makes him also a virgin. So yung biblical notion of virginity is a heart that is not exhausted by so many loves. It's only one love, is God. So, to our friends, happy feast day sa inyong lahat, and we pray na sana Saint Joseph will also guide us, no? Let's take him as our personal mentor, kung papayag siya. And we ask Saint Joseph's intercession for the Philippines, no? Kasi the Philippines is pueblo amante de Maria, no? Bayang sumisinta kay Maria. And for a bayan na nagmamahal sa mahal Birhen, mamahalin din tayo ni San Jose. And he will intercede for us, especially sa paparating na election. Joseph is, by title, is also a patriarch, which connotes leadership. So we entrust to his paternal care, his paternal intercession, our leaders, mga mamumuno sa bayan natin, for this 20th Congress and for the new Congress nga, kasi nga senators nga lang pala yung pinakamataas. Then sa mga mga bayan-bayan natin at sa BARM, syempre. So alam niyo naman, ang kadalasan sinasabi namin, kung nakaabot pa kayo dito sa part na ito, maraming salamat dahil nariyan po kayo. Sana naging kapaki-pakinabang at makabuluhan muli itong episode na ito for you. Kung meron kayong comment, meron kayong favorite na quote ni St. Joseph na hindi namin alam, kung meron kayong paboritong sinabi ni San Jose, edi comment nyo kasi baka hindi namin nabasa yan. And your experience sa kung paano nyo nakilala yung mga boyfriend ninyo, sige, pwede yan. Pag-usapan natin yan. So, may tamangusapanpod.com, may tamangusapanpodcast@gmail, may Facebook, may Instagram naman tayo. So, nandyan naman lahat yan. And again, kung kayo yung nagbabalak din gumawa ng podcast, Zencastr is a very good platform. I-message lang kami. Message si Lennon on how. Uli, isa na mga episode, Pads. Napaka
Diba?
Providential, no? Providential.
Kaya pa rin pala natin na tayo lang dalawa.
Oo. Grabe, ang season 3, this will be the first episode na kaming dalawa lang ulit ni Lennon. And we're happy to do this again. So, yun. Kita-kita tayo next Wednesday ulit. Hindi. Magkarinigan tayo ulit next Wednesday.
Yeah.
So, God bless your week and have a safe week, everyone. Ingat kayo lagi. At muli, ito po si Russell.
Ito naman po si Lennon.
At ito ang inyong Tamang Usapan.
Usapang may tama.
Yay!